Good morning. Eighth day of the month of Nisan. Passover is the 15th day, so we're certainly closing in. Today, a week from today, is the first day of Pesach. Wednesday night is the first Seder. So I want to talk a little bit, pursue the idea of our personal journey, Passover journey, finding ourselves in the narrative of Pesach. And I'll look at Pharaoh, and because we all have an internal Pharaoh, an internal Moses, an internal journey towards our own freedom, our own promised land, our own personal Egypt. Pharaoh is a curious personality. He is, he's one of those people in history who's not a nice human being. He's cruel to others. He's not just enslaving the Jews, he's torturing them. He's trying to destroy them, and he's getting free labor, but it's not so much about the free labor. It's about the inhumanity and the focus on annihilation. And in the Passover narrative, and what we read through at the Seder, we see that he gets whacked with 10 different plagues. And if you think about it, it's like the first plague is that all the waters of Egypt turn into blood. And that it freezes their economy. It's like, what do we do now? It's a plague. And you'd think that if a leader of a country can say, we don't have to find a vaccine, we don't have to find a cure, we just got to get rid of these people, get them out of here, then we'd say, of course they would go for that, and say, if there's I'm being told there's a problem with the sound, if anyone else has a problem with the sound, just shoot me a note, because I don't know much about this, but I can try to fix it. What leader of a country would not immediately try to fix things by saying, okay, I'm going to let these people go, even if they don't actually see the error of their ways, just to solve the problem? Egypt is the greatest economy of its time. And we find that Pharaoh does say, okay, I'm okay, I'll let them go, just stop this. And the plague stops. And then he says, I'm going to keep on doing it. At a certain point, doesn't he learn his lesson? Is he that much of a moron that he's being depicted as? Now, as a bit of a side issue, which I don't want that bears exploration, but maybe not for today, we do find the language that God hardened his heart. And if God hardened his heart, if God made him into an imbecile, or God made him into this difficult person, then that's not his problem. That's God's problem, that God created him that way. And in Torah thinking, certainly we're only responsible for things where we have a moral choice. Good is virtuous because we didn't have to choose good. So, and a fundamental approach to this is that Pharaoh did have choice. And at least for the first number, let's call it the first 5 of those plagues, he was just being him. And then he was hardening his own heart. He was being very stubborn. But just think about self-interest. Where was he? What was he thinking? So if we want to talk about the Pharaoh in us, let's think about what we can all see within ourselves and the people around us. I'm a rabbi, maybe I have more of a peek into personal lives, but I think if you think about it, it's part of life, part of society. Is that sometimes we have tendencies, counterproductive tendencies. Maybe we can even call it self-destructive tendencies, where we see negative repercussions, and at the time of the repercussion we'll say, oh my gosh, look what happened. We don't really want to change. it's normal in society. Putting chemical dependencies to the side, talking about normal things, temper, laziness, things that we can deal with. We have a tendency towards denial. We have a tendency towards rationalization. And there's this feeling, at least, of a compulsion. This is just me. I don't feel that I can get a grip on it. There's that Pharaoh in us, where I think it's every single one of us has to deal with things. Again, it's not at the magnitude of a Pharaoh, but we're talking about our own lives. And looking and say, what's my Egypt? Where's my Pharaoh? To be able to say, what is it, where do I need to be more honest with myself so that I can free myself from this Egypt that keeps me down? What's getting between me and my loved ones? What may be hurting me at work? My own, not what other people are doing to me. Where am I creating problems for myself because I am really being blind or trying to rationalize? They say, it's not so bad, or I can get a grip on this. The idea of being able to give it up and say, I'm going to free myself of this is true freedom. It's where Passover wants to take us. Now, as far as specific Passover tools for this freedom, I think we'll talk about that tomorrow. But about the idea of recognizing that there is an issue that for us personally that we should be looking at. That's does today. I know for myself, because of what's going on in society now, and I feel like I have a chance this year to spend more time spiritually preparing myself for Passover than any other year, because Passover is a very busy time for me. We're doing a lot of stuff with the community, and it's great, and I want to do that, and I wish I could do it now, but you can't do two things at one time. And therefore, this is a year where I feel like I have an opportunity to make Passover for myself all the more meaningful. I think we all have that opportunity, although we wish we didn't have the opportunity. It's here and upon us. So the goal is to try to free ourselves from that personal Egypt. And I would just throw in something, and we'll end with this. The Kabbalah, Jewish mysticism, tells us that, points out that the word for Pharaoh in Hebrew, Paro, is the same letters as the word for the neck. And the neck, biologically, it is what it is, but if in the form of the human being, it's the conduit, the connector between mind, meaning intellect, and emotion and heart, the trunk of my body. And it's narrow. And what the Kabbalah tells us is that God sends us a message that we may often recognize something cognitively, logically, say, this is who I need to be, this is something getting in my way, this is something I should be changing. We recognize it cognitively, but we don't change just from cognition. We change when it matters to us. We change when it hurts. We change when we feel. We change when we desire to change. And the huge challenge in life is getting from here to here. Getting from what I know to be, what I can recognize is an issue, that a goal that I need, but that itself is not going to do it. To get that recognition down to my heart, down so that I really feel the need. Once I really feel the need, I'm already on my way to freedom. I wish you a great day, a healthy day, a day when we see more light at the end of the tunnel. Tomorrow morning, I hope to be able to speak a little bit about the Passover tools to help us find our Moses and get past our Pharaoh and our Egypt.